the last lady of society. Her name was Eleanor. Everyone knew her name. In the city, people said it quietly, like something important, like something rare. Eleanor was not young. She was not old. She was timeless. That was the word people used. Timeless. She wore beautiful clothes. She spoke in a soft, clear voice. She walked slowly. She never hurried. And when she entered a room, everyone stopped. Everyone looked. Everyone felt something. They did not always know what, but they felt it. That was Eleanor. It was 1971. Eleanor sat at a long table. The room was full of men. Big men. Men in dark suits. Men with loud voices. Men who owned companies. Men who made decisions. Eleanor was the only woman. She was not afraid. She sat straight. She put her hands on the table. She looked at the men. She smiled. Not a big smile. A small, quiet smile. One man spoke first. His name was Mr. Harris. He was the most important man in the room. He looked at Eleanor. His eyes were not kind. "Mrs. Eleanor," he said. "Why are you here?" "I am here to work," said Eleanor. The men looked at each other. "This is not a place for women," said Mr. Harris. Eleanor looked at him. Her voice did not change. "Then it is time to change this place," she said. The room was very quiet. Mr. Harris opened his mouth. Then he closed it. He did not have an answer. Eleanor opened her notebook. "Now," she said, "let us begin." Eleanor worked hard. Every day. Every week. Every year. She went to meetings. She spoke to important people. She read books. Many books. She asked questions. Good questions. Hard questions. The kind of questions no one wanted to answer. She helped women get jobs. She gave money to schools. She opened a small art gallery. She visited hospitals. She talked to politicians. She was not afraid of any of them. People asked her, "How do you do it?" Eleanor always said the same thing. "I listen, and I do not stop." It was 1983. Eleanor was at a big party. The room was beautiful. Flowers everywhere. Soft music. Beautiful people in beautiful clothes. A young woman came to Eleanor. Her name was Diana. She was 22 years old. She was nervous. Her hands shook a little. "Mrs. Eleanor," said Diana, "I want to talk to you. I want to work in politics. But everyone says no. Everyone says it is not for women." Eleanor looked at her. Really looked at her. Not at her clothes. Not at her age. At her eyes. "Do you believe them?" asked Eleanor. Diana looked down. "Sometimes," she said. "Yes, that is your only problem," said Eleanor. "Not the men. Not the system. The only problem is here." She touched her own chest. Her heart. When you stop believing them, everything changes. Diana looked up. Her eyes were full of tears. Eleanor put her hand on Diana's arm. "Come to my office on Monday," she said. "We have work to do." Diana came on Monday. She never stopped working after that. 20 years later, Diana was a senator. At her first big speech, she said one name. Eleanor's name. The years passed. The 1970s became the 1980s. The 1980s became the 1990s. The world changed. Music changed. Fashion changed. Cities changed. But Eleanor did not change. Not really. She was always the same. Calm. Elegant. Quiet. Strong. She had a big house. But she did not spend all her time there. She was always moving. Always going somewhere. A meeting here. A dinner there. An art show. A school visit. A hospital. A small office in a poor part of the city where she helped women find jobs. People saw her everywhere. In expensive restaurants and in small community halls. In government buildings and in children's schools. She was comfortable everywhere. She made everyone feel comfortable too. That was her gift. Not money. Not power. Not clothes. Her real gift was this. She made people feel that they mattered. It was 1991. Eleanor was at her art gallery. A new artist had a show there. The artist was a young man. His name was Marco. He came from a poor family. He had no money, but he had talent. A lot of talent. His paintings were big and bright and full of feeling. Eleanor looked at them for a long time. She did not speak. She just looked. Marco stood near the door. He was nervous. He watched Eleanor's face. Finally, Eleanor turned to him. "These are wonderful," she said. Marco let out a long breath. "Thank you," he said. "I was afraid you would not like them." "Why?" asked Eleanor. "They are not elegant," said Marco. "They are loud and big and messy." Eleanor smiled. "Life is loud and big and messy," she said. "That is why your paintings are true." She looked at the biggest painting on the wall. "I want to buy this one." Marco's eyes went wide. "Really?" "Really," said Eleanor. She smiled again. "And I want to show your work to some people I know. Important people. People who buy art." 3 months later, Marco had a show in New York. Then Paris. Then London. He never forgot Eleanor. Nobody did. There was a night in 1995. Eleanor sat alone in her house. The big house was quiet. The lights were low. She had a cup of tea. She looked at the window. Outside, the city was full of lights. She was tired. Not sick. Just tired. The kind of tired that comes after many, many years of work. On the table next to her, there were photos. Old photos. Black and white photos from the 1970s. Photos from parties in the 1980s. Color photos from the 1990s. In every photo, Eleanor was there. Always the same. Straight back. Quiet smile. Calm eyes. She picked up one photo. It was from 1971. The meeting with the men in dark suits. Someone took a photo that day. Eleanor in the middle. All the men around her. And Eleanor, the only woman, looking straight at the camera. She looked strong. She looked sure. She looked like she belonged there. Because she did. Eleanor put the photo down. She drank her tea. She looked at the city lights. She thought about Diana. Now a senator. She thought about Marco. Now a famous artist. She thought about all the women she helped get jobs. All the children in the schools she built. All the sick people in the hospitals she visited. She did not think about her beautiful clothes. She did not think about the big dinner parties. She did not think about the important people she knew. She thought about the small things. A cup of tea. A hand on an arm. 3 words. We have work. Those were the things that mattered. The next morning, Eleanor got up early. She put on her clothes. She fixed her hair. She looked in the mirror. An old woman looked back. Eleanor smiled at her. "Good morning," she said. She picked up her bag. She walked to the door. She had a meeting at 9. A school needed money. A young woman needed a job. A politician needed advice. Work to do. Always work to do. She opened the door. The morning air was cold and fresh. The city was waking up. Cars moved slowly. People walked fast. A boy sold newspapers on the corner. Eleanor walked out. She walked slowly. She never hurried. And when people saw her on the street, they stopped. They looked. They felt something. They did not always know what, but they felt it. One young woman saw Eleanor walk past. She stopped and watched her go. Then she turned to her friend and said, "Who is that woman?" Her friend looked. "That," she said, "is Eleanor. Everyone knows her." "Why?" asked the young woman. Her friend thought for a moment. "Because," she said slowly, "she never stopped. Not once. Not ever." The young woman watched Eleanor until she turned the corner and was gone. Then she stood up straight. She took a deep breath, and she walked forward.